everyone, how are you today? Welcome back to SEDA College Online for one more lesson with me. I want you to relax, get comfortable before we start. Grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, whichever you prefer. And before we start, I also want to ask you to look out your window, if you have window in the room where you're in, and tell me about the weather. Write in the comments, what do you see outside your window? Is it sunny? Is it rainy? And my basic question is, how does the weather make you feel today? Sometimes, it's true, actually not sometimes, most of the times the weather really changes our feelings. For example, if it rains more, most people may feel depressed. Others may like it though. So tell me, how do you feel with the weather? Personally, I'm looking out my window today and it's a little bit cloudy, but I can see that the sun will come out a little bit, so it's kind of nice. So, what we're going to do today is, of course, as you understood, talk about the weather. We'll see mostly weather vocabulary. I know that you are already familiar with all these words like cloudy, rainy, sunny, etc. So today we'll focus on authentic material. We will see reports from the actual weather report for the next few days. So you can see the original vocabulary that we use in order to talk about the weather. And the first task will be a listening activity. I want to see if you can listen to keywords about the weather. So, I will read 3 weather reports for you. While I'm reading, I want you to note down the keywords that you understand that have to do with the weather. I'll try to talk in medium to normal speed, okay? So I want you to be focused. But to make it a little bit easier for you, I will split the 3-day report into 3 different parts. So I will read weather report 1 for you now. You can write down the words and then I will show you the report. And of course, you can always, you know that, you can always type your answers in the comments and in the live chat. Okay, so are you ready to listen to the first weather report? Let's start. Now, the day is Sunday. Sunday will be a mild but windy day. It will start off largely dry with some sunny spells. However, outbreaks of rain will feed into southern and western counties in the morning. Later in the day, rain will extend countrywide with some heavy bursts during the evening. Strong and gusty south to southeast winds will bring a risk of localized coastal flooding along the south coast at high tide. Highs of 12 to 16 degrees. So this was the first one. I don't know if it was too fast for you. Did you get to write down any words? If yes, you can type the words in the comments. And in order to help you a little bit more, I will read it one more time for you, okay? So let's go. Sunday will be a mild but windy day. It will start off largely dry with some sunny spells. However, outbreaks of rain will feed into southern and western counties in the morning. Later in the day, rain will extend countrywide with some heavy bursts during the evening. Strong and gusty south to southwest winds will bring a risk of localized coastal flooding along the south coast at high tide. Highs of 12 to 16 degrees. Okay, So let's see how you did in that one. I'm sure that there were easy words that you all know and that you managed to write down, but there are some words that you might have never seen before. So this is our report. You can see the main words underlined: mild, windy, dry, sunny spells, outbreaks of rain, of course, heavy bursts. We're still talking about rain here, okay? Heavy bursts of rain. Strong and gusty winds. Okay? Gusty here means that the wind speeds for a few seconds. Imagine walking out in the street, you suddenly feel a strong wind coming to you for a few seconds and then it stops. That's gusty wind. And coastal flooding. Now, usually the questions I get here are about the word mild. Now, mild has to do with temperature. It means that it's not very cold. It is kind of warmer, if you want. And then the other question that I usually get is about the word flooding. We saw that in a previous lesson as well, if you remember, if you were here. Just remember that flooding means that water comes out towards the dry land. And the pronunciation is an A, flood, flooding. Now, if there is something else that you want me to explain, or something that you're not sure about, you can ask me in the comments. Don't forget that, alright? And the last word that I have in mind here is the word spells. We use it a lot when we talk about the weather. We can have sunny spells, clear spells. This means the word spell has to do with a short period of unusual weather. If you're in the middle of the winter and you have a short period of sun, that's a sunny spell. Or if you have a short period where the sky is completely clear, that's a clear spell, but it doesn't last long. Okay, so are you ready to go to Weather Report 2 and try to write down the words you listen again? Let's start. Now, this one is about Monday. A fresher day with spring sunshine and scattered showers, most frequent across the north and the west. Showers will become isolated by evening as moderate westerly breezes decrease light. Highest temperatures 10 to 13 degrees. Staying dry after dark with clear spells and mostly light southerly breezes. However, it will turn cold with lows of 2 to 5 degrees. Some frost too, along with local mist. I don't know, how was that? Did you find it easier or maybe a little bit more challenging than the first one? Tell me in the comments. And again, in order to help you, I will read it one more time for you. A fresher day with spring sunshine and scattered showers, most frequent across the north and the west. Showers will become isolated by evening as moderate westerly breezes decrease light. Highest temperatures 10 to 13 degrees. Staying dry after dark with clear spells and mostly light southerly breezes. However, it will turn cold with lows of 2 to 5 degrees. Some frost too, along with local mist. Okay, so again, you can type your answers in the comment section and let's take a look together and tell me if you have any questions about that. You can see the underlined words: sunshine, scattered showers. I'm not sure if you know the word scattered. It means spread. So there might be a shower where I am, but there might not be a shower where you are. It's very difficult to predict when these showers are gonna happen. We have breeze, or the plural breezes, which is a very light and pleasant wind, a refreshing light wind. Temperatures, degrees. I hope you remember the pronunciation of the word temperature. We have a lot of silent sounds. Here it's temperature. Temperature. And then we have dry, clear spells. I mentioned that before. Cold. Now let's go to frost and mist. Does anybody have any idea what these two words mean? If you have an idea, you can tell me in the comments. But generally, you can find frost and mist very, very late at night or towards the early morning when it gets a bit colder. Maybe in the winter time, you wake up in the morning to go to work. You go to your car and you see that the front of the car, the windshield, is full of frost, and you spend sort of half an hour trying to take the frost off the windshield. So it's a kind of ice. And then we have mist. Now I'm sure you might have heard the word fog. We've seen it before. Fog means that the clouds come towards the ground. You can't see very clearly in front of you. So mist is something similar, but usually mist is found outside the city, maybe in more natural areas, the mountains, the sea, etc. So tell me, is everything clear? Do you want me to explain something a little bit more, maybe? Okay, and let's go to our third and last weather report. Are you ready to listen? So the day here is Tuesday. Overall dry with spells of sunshine. However, it will become breezy with freshening southerly breezes. Highest temperatures of 11 to 14 degrees. Patchy rain will move into west and northwest counties after dark. Otherwise dry under broken cloud, and southerly breezes will be light. Cool with overnight lows of 3 to 6 degrees. And as always, I'm going to read it one last time. Overall, dry with spells of sunshine. However, it will become breezy with freshening southerly breezes. Highest temperatures of 11 to 14 degrees. Patchy rain will move into west and northwest counties after dark. Otherwise, dry under broken cloud and southerly breezes will be light. Cool with overnight lows of 3 to 6 degrees. So I think this might have been a little bit easier in relation to weather report 1 and 2. So let's take a look. We have again dry spells, okay? Dry with spells of sunshine. Okay, so dry means it will not be raining. Okay, it's gonna be dry. Short periods of sunshine. Breezy. We see a lot of breeze here in all our 3 reports. Patchy rain. Patchy rain again is kind of similar to scattered rain. It means that you can't predict exactly when it's going to rain. At some point in the day, it's going to rain a bit. And then we have cool. Remember, cool is related to temperature. It's not very cold. It's kind of pleasantly cold. Okay, So, again, tell me if you have any questions so far about the vocabulary. And here I have collected the most important words that have been repeated throughout the weather reports. I have put them in kinds of categories. The first one is related to wind. So we can have windy weather, the adverb. Strong wind. Remember, this is important. You can't say heavy wind. You need to say strong. And we will see in a little bit that we use heavy for rain. And gusty wind, it has a lot of speed for a few seconds. Okay? And breeze, a very, very light and pleasant wind. Then we have collocations with the word spell. Sunny spells, clear spells. Remember, this means it's for a short period of time. Then we go to the rain process. Cloud, heavy rain, or patchy rain. We can't predict when exactly it's going to rain. Scattered showers here and there. Flooding. So if it rains a lot, we might have flooding. The water comes out of the sea, out of the river, towards the land. And here I have also included the opposite. It's dry. When it's not raining, it's dry. But I also want to focus your attention on the noun that comes from dry. Does anybody know how we call a long period without any rain that can affect the nature? The plants can't grow. If anybody knows, you can type the word in the live chat. The two first letters are the same. It's DR and then it changes. So the word is drought. Okay, so if it hasn't rained for months, there is going to be a drought. And focus on the pronunciation too. The letters here are OU, but your sound is OW. Drought. So you can see a picture if you're not sure what drought means. This is an image that represents drought. And then, if we move on to temperatures, we have temperature, of course, degrees, how many degrees, mild, okay, which is pleasantly warm. And then I think we saw one more word before, which I haven't added here. It's cool, which is pleasantly cold. And then we go to foggy or icy situations. We have frost and mist. You still have time if you want to ask me questions about these words, guys. Write your questions in the comments. All right. So, what I think is important for you to keep in mind is know the degrees of hot and cold. How much cold and how much hot is it? So you can use the vocabulary more accurately. Now you can see the plus and minus. So towards the end we have the colder and hotter temperatures, and towards the top we have the less cold and less hot. I will give you a minute to look at the words and try to categorize them according to how much cold or hot they are. You can start now. I will read the words for you. We have below zero, scorching, warm, mild, freezing, boiling, chilly, and cool. We have already seen mild and cool, so if you remember them, that will help you start. And I think it's easy to separate them. We have below zero, freezing, towards the cold, scorching, boiling, towards the hot. And again, try to type your answers if you want. You can type them in order from less cold to the most cold, okay, to the coldest, and you can write it in the comment section. I will read them one more time to focus on pronunciation as well, okay? So it's below zero, scorching, you have a ch sound, warm, so your sound is o, warm, mild, freezing, boiling, chilly, cool. Now let's take a look at the answers together. We start from the cold. We have cool, it's pleasant. Chilly, not very pleasant. Cold, it's the middle ground. Freezing, very cold. Below zero, it's icy cold. And let's go to the hot. Again, mild, pleasantly hot. Warm, hot is where maybe you want some air conditioning, okay? Boiling and scorching are actually equal, okay? You can say it's boiling hot, it's scorching hot. And it means that maybe the temperature is over 30, over 40 degrees, according to where you are. So try to remember these words. It's good to use them. Not only always say, oh, it's hot, it's cold. Try to use them more accurately. It's a bit warm today. It's chilly today. It's freezing today. So what I want to do now is I want to see if you remember any of the words that we learned and if you have kept any of these words in your mind. I want you again to look out your window and go to the comment section or the live chat and describe today's weather. And again, try to be more specific. Don't just tell me it's hot or cold. Tell me something more specific about it to show me that you have understood and you can use some of the vocabulary we saw, okay? I will just give you a minute to do that. So if you want me to describe the weather in my area or what I think the weather is in my area, I would say that today the temperature is quite mild actually. It might, I see a light breeze. It is a bit cloudy, but I expect that later on there will be sunny spells. Okay, so you can say something similar as well. Okay, now you can continue writing your sentences. I don't want a weather report from you. I just want one or two sentences, okay? So you don't have to overthink about it. And let's move on to our next part, which is, of course, pronunciation. Now, today we will work with diphthongs, which means combination of two-letter sounds. We have the diphthong ow, I, and the last one is o, okay, like show. Ow, I, o. So what I want you to do is take a look at the words that we have on the left. I will not read them for you. I'll let you think about it a little bit first and try to place them in the correct category. Which of the words have the sound ow? Which of the words have the sound I? And which of the words have the sound O? I will give you a few seconds to think about it. Then I will pronounce the words. If you change your mind, you can tell me, okay? Write your answers in the comments. You can write them in sets. 1, these words. 2, these words. 3, these words. Okay, now I'm gonna very quickly pronounce them once for you in case you change your mind about something. Sunshine, coastal, showers, dry, drought, mild, cold, cloud. I don't know if it helped. And we saw coastal in Weather Report 1. I don't know if you remember it. Has to do with the coast. It was in the phrase coastal flooding. So the water in the coast will go toward land. Now let's see what you've done and if your answers are correct. For owl, we have showers, show. Okay? Drought, we talked about this specifically earlier. Cloud. For I, we have dry, sunshine, and mild. Okay, remember it's not mild, it's mild. And the last one is coastal and cold. Okay, coastal, cold. Let's pronounce them one more time together, guys, okay? We have showers, drought, cloud, dry, sunshine, mild, coastal, and cold. All right. So again, if you have any questions about the pronunciation, if there is something that you didn't quite get, you can ask me in the comments, okay? And now I also have a last part of the lesson, which is a bonus vocabulary part. It's idioms, which are using vocabulary related to the weather. So the vocabulary might be related to the weather, but this doesn't mean that the meaning of the idiom talks about the weather. They're very interesting, actually. I'm sure you might know a few of them, but it's a good opportunity to learn a few more. They're really a really nice addition to your knowledge of the English language. So here I have 10 idioms and their meanings. I will read the idioms with you, and then I will give you a minute to match the idiom with the correct meaning. So we have number 1, come rain or shine. Number 2, a storm in a teacup. Number 3, raining cats and dogs. Number 4, chasing rainbows. Number 5, under the weather. 6, save up for a rainy day. 7, the calm before the storm. 8, every cloud has a silver lining. Number 9, steal someone's thunder. And take a rain check. So I am sure that you might know a few of them. Others might be easy to understand. And many students tell me that they might have very similar expressions in their languages. So you can complete the matching, take a minute, and also tell me, because I'm very interested, do you have any similar expressions as these ones in your language? I'm really interested to know that, so I'm waiting for you to write your answers. And while you are doing the matching, I just want to focus on the weather vocabulary that is used here. Okay, you can see it in bold letters: rain, shine, storm, raining, rainbows, weather, rainy, storm, cloud, thunder, rain. You see that for some reason most of the idioms use vocabulary related to bad weather, rainy weather, storms, clouds. Only very few of them use more neutral or maybe vocabulary about better weather, which is kind of interesting. But if you think that in England, for example, the weather is not specifically sunny, then it makes sense. So let's take a look together, see if you found the answers, and you can continue writing the answers in the comments and the live chat if you want, okay? So, come rain or shine, which one do you think it is? Okay, in a rainy or a shiny weather? It is E, in bad or good situations, okay? And in a few minutes, I will give you examples which you will have to complete with the word, so hang on. A storm in a teacup, an exaggerated reaction to something unimportant. Okay? It's an exaggeration. Raining cats and dogs, you know that, raining heavily. Chasing rainbows, pursue something unrealistic, something that you can't have, that you can't get. Under the weather, very, very common. It means to be sick. Save up for a rainy day. Put something aside for an emergency. The calm before the storm, the quiet period before an intense event. Every cloud has a silver lining. We want to find the positive in a negative situation. There is always a positive. Then we go to steal someone's thunder. I don't know if you have heard that. The meaning is that you do something before another person who wanted to do that. So you kind of steal the spotlight. Everyone is paying attention to you instead of the other person. And take a rain check, which means to postpone, to rearrange something. Okay, so maybe you have to work today, so you can't come to the cinema. Take a rain check. Tell me if you have any questions so far, guys. And now I will give you the opportunity to practice a little bit. I have written a few examples for you, and I want you to try and complete them with the correct idiom. You can see the idioms on your right as well. So take a few minutes. Try to remember the meanings. Try to guess the meanings if you don't remember them from the earlier slide. I'll just read the sentences for you to set the tone. I'll be there for you. Don't spend all your money at once. You need to. Why did you present my idea as yours? You. I don't feel very well today. I'm a bit. Do you mind if I can't go anywhere in this weather. His dreams are impossible to achieve. Don't worry, everything will be fine. The whole thing is, it's ridiculous. He just wants to attract our attention. Things have been going unbelievably well lately. It feels like... So try to think about it. Please write your answers in the comment section and the live chat as well, as I always say, okay? If there is something that you're not sure about, ask me. I will answer all your questions, so don't hesitate. And I will say it one more time. I always see the same people participating, the same name, so you can also start commenting. And you can see that you might have a better experience when you interact, and it can help you learn better if you actually ask the questions that you have in your mind. Alright, so let's take a look together. I'll be there for you come rain or shine. I'll be there for you in the good and the bad. Don't spend all your money at once. You need to save up for a rainy day. Maybe there is an emergency. Why did you present my idea as yours? You stole my thunder. Now everyone is paying attention to you. I don't feel well today. I'm a bit under the weather, a bit sick. Do you mind if I take a rain check? We can rearrange for another day. I can't go anywhere in this weather. It's raining cats and dogs. His dreams are impossible to achieve. He's chasing rainbows. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Every cloud has a silver lining. The whole thing is a storm in a teacup. It's ridiculous. Just wants to attract our attention. Things have been going unbelievably well lately. It feels like the calm before the storm. So how did you do? Did you find all the answers? Was there something particularly difficult for you? You can tell me, you can write it in the comments. And now, because we have reached the end of our class for today, so you just have a few more minutes for questions. Okay? But always remember that you can re-watch the class, and if you write your comments in the platform, in the SEDA College platform, I always see the comments even after the lesson, even at another day, so I can always answer, okay? So let's see what we saw today. We did some listening for keywords about the weather vocabulary and idioms. We wrote a description related to today's weather, and we focused on pronunciation in relation to the diphthongs ow, I, and o. So tell me in the comments, what did you learn today? What did you enjoy most? Was there something that you didn't know? Was there something that you knew but you were glad to remember it again? So tell me, guys, and that was our lesson for today. Really glad to have been here with you again, and can't wait to see you until the next class. Bye!